Hi, I'm Natalie Kelley, founder and CEO of flyGIRL and the Fly Foundation. My dream of becoming a pilot came true when I was 45 years old. It was such a pivotal moment in my life. Throughout my journey, I learned a lot about myself, my values, about business, about flying, and about taking on new challenges. I hope that you will use this website as a resource to keep you inspired, motivated, and realize that no matter how old you are, what dream you have, you can do it. Whether you want to be a pilot or you're facing a new transition in life, thank you for visiting. We can always use your support. Feel free to reach out to me if you ever have any questions or concerns or need any kind of advice on your own journey. You can change your course, change your life.
Happy Wednesday. Where the heck is Gata?
I don't know. She's not here or she's late.
Missing in action, I tell ya. Anyway.
How are you?
Yep, I'm good. I went back to work yesterday.
Yeah, how's that going?
It's tiring.
Yeah.
My foot is sore. I'm icing it.
Not used to all that. Huh?
No. So, weather up here has been cold. Actually, tomorrow it's actually supposed to be 40s, I think.
Yeah, it got cold here.
Good.
We had some frost.
Good.
I don't like frost.
I'm glad you have that down there.
No, thank you.
So anyway, yes, work life. Yes, scuba. I'm back at it. So I want to thank you all for joining in. And I see my mom and dad are in here. Kramer's in here. And looks like we got some new people. Ed Riddick and little Pete is in the house. Justin and Linda Anderson, Bonnie Franz, and let's see. Is everybody out flying yet?
Probably.
Bill H. Do we have John Wayne in here yet?
Shane
Planet Shane. I think Randy's in here. Randy Milstead. Hi, Gary. Sean Simons. So thank you all for showing up and we're still coming in. But we want to introduce, we're doing a little bit of a revert back from paramotors from last week, and let's go into general aviation again and learn a little bit more about that. And we've got Natalie in here from flyGIRL. Hello, Natalie.
Hi. Hello, how are you?
Good. So where are you at?
I'm actually in, so I sold my house about 2 weeks ago. I'm moving from Ohio to Kentucky. Yeah, so for 2 weeks I've been staying at my boyfriend's house, and he has a separate apartment above a separate garage. So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
So what part of Kentucky are you going to?
I'm moving to near Paducah on Kentucky Lake. So it's going to be a lake home, and I'll be closer to my family in Tennessee.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's up with the shirt you're wearing? And flying. What do you know about flying?
Well, thanks for having me on, first of all. I'm excited to learn more about what you do, paramotors. I mean, that seems like that blows my mind. But I run an organization, so I started flying 7 years ago. It's been a little over 7 years now. And at Sporty's Academy here in Cincinnati, which is well known. Mm-hmm. And I was my kids were getting older. I have 3 boys, and I had maybe at least one driver in the house. And I decided I really wanted to learn to fly. My dad had been a pilot. My uncle had been a pilot, and it was on a bucket list that I had created in 1999. And I was like, okay, now's the time. I mean, my kids in school all day, and I was a stay-at-home mom. So I thought it's time for something new and a new chapter. And I called Sporties Academy, booked my discovery flight, went and took my discovery flight, and was just elated, as soon as I took off from the ground. And I was like, this is definitely something I want to do. I had a great instructor and started signing up for lessons. I mean, I think it was like twice a week there on out. And I earned my private. During my private pilot training, I had learned, that women really are a minority in this, the aviation world. And I thought, I really want to do something that shows, women can fly. And I wanted to create something. I was looking for a t-shirt in the Sporties pilot shop that I would like to wear, and I couldn't really find anything. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just make my own shirts. And I kind of came up with this flyGIRL logo and term that I thought women, of all ages can be fly. So I thought I love the way this sounds, flyGIRL, and I created the logo, and I printed up some shirts, and I asked some of the people that I got to know at Sporties if they'd be willing to sell the shirts, and then I could use the proceeds to fund flight training scholarships, because I knew how difficult it was for women to allow themselves to do something, like learning to fly, whether it be for a career or hobby. It's expensive. And I wanted to try to encourage women with, the products and the scholarships. So I started flyGIRL, and then the 501c3, the Fly Foundation. And we have given away at least one scholarship every year since. It's been like a little over $30,000. And I am a one-woman operation. I do everything. So
Wow.
That's pretty big. I'm really proud that I've been able to do that.
Good for you.
That is awesome.
And
So-
continuing on, I
Yep.
did earn my, earned my instrument rating as I'm working on building flyGIRL and coming up with all kinds of products. I got my commercial rating, and then I had bought a Piper Archer. Some time in, the more I flew, originally I thought this would be a hobby, and the more I flew, I thought, I think I might want to do this as a career. And what am I going to do when my kids leave? And I want to do something else. So I earned my CFI after I built some time, probably about 3 years into it. And then I knew some people in aviation that managed some actually owned jets. And he was kind of mentoring me and telling me some things that I could do in order to get into some of the jets that he flew and he needed co-pilots for. So I continued on that journey and earned a few SIC type ratings in some of the citation jets, and started flying in the right seat, and have been doing that for the past couple of years.
And how often do you do that?
Probably, last year, so my youngest son just went on college, and he played lacrosse and football, and I didn't want to be gone all the time. So I decided to go the contract pilot route, where I could pick and choose when I flew and could design my schedule so that I could be there during his last, couple of years of school. So it was probably maybe a couple times a month, something like that.
Okay. How often, or how long are your flights? Are they are you on an overnight, or is it like a couple hours?
Sometimes, I have learned that building time, and I have about 1,200 hours. So sometimes people don't know that you can actually start flying in the right seat before you get your ATP and that 1,500 hour mark. So it isn't something that pilots can do. They can't, be PIC, but they can start building jet time in the right seat. So I just started doing that, and then some that the longest flights were a gentleman that owned his own airplane in St. Louis, and he had a vacation home in St. Thomas, and so I would co-pilot those flights back and forth with him pretty often, pretty regularly. That was the longest. Those were usually like about 5 hours, something like that. The rest of them were maybe like an hour to 2 hours at the most.
Okay. So you were flying.
You cut out on me.
I think
Oh boy.
You froze up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how many hours do you have flying in the left seat?
At like in like a not the jets.
Like in a command seat.
Probably about 1,000 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So my question was, so you were flying in the right seat to the Virgin Islands?
Yes.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah.
I don't feel sorry for you.
That was definitely one of my favorites. Yes.
I
did
bet.
enjoy that. Yeah. But it is I mean, it's nice, but there are, everything has its pros and cons as well. To go, because normally when I would be flying with him, he was either already down there and I would need commercial down there, and then he needed me to co-pilot back to St. Louis, or he would be going from St. Louis to the Virgin Islands. And so I would have to commercial either St. Louis or, from St. Thomas, because he would stay down there for like 6 to 8 weeks. So I wasn't staying down there. I'd be coming back. So it's like a full day of travel just to get where I needed to go.
All right. So we got one question going back to Sporties. Did you do your ground school through Sporties?
I did. Yeah. Well, it wasn't the online, it's the online, when you say online ground school, I did the Learn to Fly Sporties course. Yes. So
Okay.
the instructor there, they have you watch that program. But it's really cool because you can kind of watch a series of their videos. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but they have like chapters, and you could watch a few of the videos that your instructor would say, "Hey, I want you to watch these videos," and then when you come back, then we'll talk about that, and then we'll fly it a little bit and put some of those things that you've read about into practice. So it wasn't like I went through the whole Learn to Fly course and then started doing the training. We kind of went along together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband went through the online also.
Okay.
So.
They do a great job. They really do.
Yeah.
They're very organized.
So Ed Reddick is asking I think this is for you. How is your kit building coming along?
Yes, I am familiar with Ed. Hi, Ed. Thanks for tuning in. It's coming along okay. I don't know if you know. So my boyfriend and I are building an RV-14.
Oh.
And, I don't know if you know, but Vans has had some problems recently with some of their parts. I think they've just filed Chapter 11, and they're trying to work through, organize some things. So it's kind of came to a little bit of a standstill. We were trying to figure out what's going to happen. And thankfully, a lot of the parts that they had to kind of recall or replace, we hadn't actually put on the plane yet. So it wasn't like we have to go back and undo a whole lot of stuff, which there are a lot of people that were further along than we were, that it's been a bit of probably a real big hiccup in having to undo all that they've done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we're about 20% through. I think my boyfriend Eric said that we're about 20% through.
We don't have any
Does-
photos of the build.
I'm sorry.
We don't have any photos of the build.
Oh no, we don't. I could have sent you some.
Do you have any on Instagram or anything?
Yeah, occasionally I post a few things about it. I wish there's a way to share photos on here. I bet there is, but I don't know how to do it.
Let me see if I can find something.
We've got most of the wings put together. The fuel tanks have been sealed.
I'm not getting to it quick enough here.
That's all right. If you go to my Instagram page at flyGIRL Kelley, you will see occasionally I post some things of some snapshots or videos of the progress.
What is your Instagram account name?
It's called at flyGIRL Kelley.
I just had it. Okay. And then it switched back to mine for some reason. Okay. Trying to see. Friday the 13th, I'm down. I'm not seeing any. I
have to put my glasses on. Let's see. Could be, mostly on stories. So they may not pop up in the feed so much.
So I'll share her screen real quick, so then you guys can all maybe follow her if you want to.
RV parts. I made a little video with the parts.
Oh.
John Wayne's sitting in a hospital room in Colorado Springs.
Oh no.
Most
if
of
anybody
stuff,
can give us. Is that one of them here? That
right there has all the parts on it. Yeah. And then I would say most of them. There's one we're building an airplane that shows when it arrived. But probably mostly you will find it on my stories that I post that are not on the feed.
Okay. And she does go to Oshkosh, EAA.
Yep.
I do, yes. We love that. And Sporties usually has my products there in their tent. That's a big.
I did see them this last year.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Nice. Yeah, it's a big money maker. That and Sun Fun, and around Christmas time is when we sell the most products, which is, I need to sell the products in order to offer the scholarship. So what I offer every year kind of depends on what I've sold and how much I've sold. So it's, it's kind of, I say it's a good cause, shopping for a good cause, because, it helps fund these flight training scholarships that I love to give. And sometimes I have donors that donate money, and that really helps. If you're selling t-shirts, you're not making a whole lot of money off of it. So it takes a while to really accumulate that so that you can offer some kind of scholarship.
So are you making, go ahead, Deweese.
I was just going to ask, how does someone apply for a scholarship?
Every year I post something either on my website. So the website is flygirlllc.com. And then on social media, I will send out a message when we're accepting applications. Every year it gets like more and more. It grows more and more. I had about 320 applications last year. And I have a committee that helps me narrow it down and go through the applications. And then, and then it's usually about the beginning of the year, because we normally give everyone like a couple of months to work on that and get it in, and then it's awarded in like April, around April, that time of year.
I thought I saw something the other day when I was looking at if you're interested in a scholarship on your page here. So you're a motivational speaker also.
I've had a few speaking engagements. Yes.
Nice.
I love doing that too.
Where have you done those?
I've done mostly for, well, a couple of universities have invited me to talk to like their aviation program, and like EAA chapter meetings, and a couple of like aviation, not women in aviation sponsored events, but events at local airports where they're trying to get their wives or girlfriends or something to come and get interested in flying. And like Piper, there's a thing in Memphis I went to, it was like a group of Piper pilots that had a fly-in that they did, and I spoke to that, and that was really a large event actually there in Memphis, which was nice because I have family in Memphis as well, so it kind of worked out.
Right. Okay. And tell us about being on your own podcast.
Cockpits and Cocktails is a podcast that we started. A friend, she's a pilot as well. We started about, gosh, I guess it was about 4 years ago, 3, 4. I think we're in season 4. And it started out being, inviting women on to talk about aviation, what they do in aviation. And then we introduced a couple of men because, we don't necessarily want it to be just about women, but we do want to encourage women and share all the different types of careers that there are in aviation. But, men are very supportive typically. My dad was a pilot, my uncle was a pilot, and a lot of the men are very helpful in helping us get to where we want to go. So we've had a couple of men on the show as well, and we're on a break right now and don't know how long that's going to last. I got really busy with the contract flying, and we had some co-host changes, so we're on a hiatus right now indefinitely, but it's been really fun to have women on there and talking about what they do in aviation. There's so many different things: air traffic control, there's APs and CFIs, there's just brokers, jet brokers, so many different career fields. I think sometimes a lot of people think the only thing we could do is really airline pilots. That's like the first thing that you think of with aviation, and there's a lot of other things, FBOs, running FBOs or flight schools, and there's a lot of ways to be involved in aviation that's just fun, maybe even more fun than flying for an airline.
All right. Well, you'll have to let us know when you get it going again.
Okay.
So, all right. Any other questions in the chat at all?
I haven't seen it.
Except Linda's talking about cereal. John Wayne, I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Prayers going out to you, sir.
Yep.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about what you do with the paramotors? I know you had an accident not too long ago, but how did you get involved in that?
I've got a husband that likes to get into sports, extreme. First, we got into kiteboarding, which was fun because we went out to the Outer Banks and did that a little bit, but then bringing it back to Wisconsin, it's kind of hard. We live on a little 25-acre lake, and you're surrounded by trees, so you're going to be getting a lot of rotor through there, and you don't really get good winds that you need for the kiteboarding. And then we decided during the start of COVID to go south towards Madison, and found a awesome instructor. And I really didn't want to do it, but I thought I was just going to be his cheerleader and take pictures and go along. But part of me is happy that I did do it, because I did start this show because of it, the sport, and I've met so many wonderful people along the way. In the 3.5, going on 4 years now, 2 years of doing the show, a little over 2 years doing the show. And I met Deweese in Tennessee at a fly-in, and she said if I ever needed a co-host, that person. So, yep.
Nice.
Fallon told me.
Yeah.
So,
What Tennessee?
and we've done podcasts while we were at fly-ins and stuff. So it's been a great journey along the way. Gaining new friends every week, just about. So Deweese, why don't you tell her about flying? You fly a trike.
Yeah, I fly a trike. I fly a trike buggy, and it's a big, heavy trike. It's made out of stainless steel. Mine is. It weighs about 68 pounds, I think. It's a dedicated trike, which means that the paramotor connects to the trike and you can't remove it. There are some that you can take the paramotor off and just fly the paramotor itself, but mine doesn't do that. And of course, it's connected to the wing, and you just take off and fly, and I just love it. It's a lot of fun.
How did you learn to fly it?
I went to school in Florida and learned how to fly it, and
keeps you tracking as messages.
that's it.
How long does it normally take to learn?
It depends on how fast you learn, I guess. I was in Florida for about. I only took about 10 lessons or 10 flights in Florida, and then when I got finished there, I went up to Wisconsin and took some more lessons in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So,
do you have a group when you go up to Oshkosh? Do you camp?
Oshkosh last year was the first time I'd been. I went with Eric and Jade, and we had a great time.
Yeah, so we stay right by the ultralight field in the grounds, or on the grounds, I should say. So we were next to the gentleman that was selling the aviation flags. This last summer, did you get, I guess I should ask if you got to the ultralight field at all?
I believe we
By the
went
Red
one
Barn.
day. Yes, I think I know where that's at.
Okay.
Then we go at night. Isn't that where they do the night show? Not the Wednesday night show, but they have these shows at night with the
paramotor.
They did the paramotors and the drones, the RCs.
Yes.
And then the skydivers. Yep.
Yeah.
So we were just a couple 100 feet from the field there.
Okay.
So not sure if we're going to stay on the grounds this year or just have our booth and then go to one of the campgrounds off the base this next coming summer. So where do you stay?
We camp. Camp Scholler is where we have. My boyfriend has a fifth wheel, and we take it there. Sometimes he has his kids. Sometimes it's just the two of us, and it's great. I really like it. I love seeing the night show. I love the whole atmosphere, riding the bikes around, and you're just kind of surrounded by people that are just very similar to you and interested in flying and getting to know
love
other
airplanes
people in flying. Yeah.
Lots to see, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
There's too much to see. You can't see
It's
it
too
all.
hot.
Yeah, you can't
I
see it
know.
all.
Yeah. I know some of the first timers, are asking me details about it, and I'm sure they do the same with you too. And it's just hard to describe and explain. It's not just, you can't just walk the whole thing in a day and see everything.
Right.
It's a take it section by section, I think. And there's different things. I like the vintage airplanes, and I love the warbird airplanes, and they're, usually really close together, kind of far apart. And so, yeah, it's to enjoy it. You don't want to run your sprag and try to see everything all in one day.
For sure.
Oh, we got a couple
This year
of
we didn't
things.
get it down to the warbirds.
Yes, we did.
Well, you did. I didn't.
Oh, you
Eric
didn't.
and I
No.
didn't.
No, we went with Wendy and Justin.
Yeah.
That's right.
What were
They
you
were
saying?
pretty
There's
cool.
a couple questions.
There's a question in here. It's from Jay Land. Let's see here. Here it is. How did you get into contact flying?
Into contract flying? Well,
Contract.
I knew someone that managed some fractionally owned jets, and I knew that he was looking for co-pilots all the time. A lot of the CFIs would co-pilot the ones that were really building hours to get to the airlines. The airlines wasn't really something that I wanted to do. I liked the idea of the business private aviation side. And what I liked about that was just a small kind of group that you'd be flying with kind of on a regular basis and getting to know the clients. So fractionally owned jets are, it's Part 91 typically, or what you call Part 91K. And there may be like 4 or 5 owners of one jet, and they're not going to have like a salaried pilot. They have like a team that kind of manages the jet, and then these people find pilots when they want to go somewhere and book a trip. So those are usually contracted pilots that they're looking for. They kind of have it's like a word of mouth almost thing. So I really talked to him throughout my training, and everyone knows everyone in aviation, and he introduced me to some people. I flew with him some. He told me, you can fly SIC if you go get your SIC rating, or you get, a PIC that's type rated in a jet can check you out and do that. The problem with that is a lot of insurance companies want you to have sim time, and you'd have to get the owner's permission for you to go fly in the jet. And, it's quite expensive to go through all the basic maneuvers that you need to do in order to get signed off to fly SIC. So sometimes it's better if you go somewhere and get it done. You pay to have it done, but you get that SIC type rating, and then you can look for people looking for co-pilots, and you kind of get on the list, and you start calling people, and the word of mouth kind of gets around, and then you start getting calls to go. That's kind of how I got into it.
I did want to clarify something. Jay Land made a point here. He says a lot of programs are 10 days long. I said I had 10 flights, and then I went to another school and completed. Usually what the schools do, it usually takes about 10 days for you to complete a school. But what they actually want you to do is have about 25 flights before you are really released to be flying on your own. It usually takes about 25 flights for you to be competent to fly as a pilot. So that's when they actually release you from a school.
But then most trainers also welcome you back throughout any time to fly with them. And if you have questions, you can call them back.
Right.
And
they usually welcome you back to come back and fly with you with them as much as you want to.
Right.
Most of them, I'll say most of them.
Yeah. So I think Ed had asked a question. Sorry, Ed, my texts weren't updating, but you had asked where we're from in Wisconsin, and it's Tomahawk, and I saw that John Wayne answered that. And you asked also, what are the wind limitations? I'm thinking you're talking paramotor. Usually 6 to 8 miles an hour. Trike usually about 6 to be safe, and up to 8, and then 8 to sometimes 10 on foot launch. But usually 8's the safest for foot launch also. So if you're thinking about learning, you can go to usppa.org and you can look up schools in whatever state you're interested in, and you should be able to find some schools in that area also. Or contact us and we can help you find somebody that will help.
It's a unique way to fly. If you're used to flying with it in an enclosed cabin, when you get into the open way to fly in a paramotor, it's a whole different experience.
Some pilots though, like Eric's instructor doesn't like it much. He likes being enclosed. He's used to being enclosed in an airplane. He doesn't like his feet dangling. So yeah, I guess it's just how you feel, I guess.
I guess so.
It would take getting used to. If you're used to flying in an airplane, that it might take a few times to try before you really get used to what that feeling is like.
Yeah. So hi Cody, hi Bill H, hi Justin. If I didn't say anything to anybody else, I'm sorry, but thank you all for joining. And Ed, thank you for joining us tonight. He says he's looking more for right seat fun. What
Right
model of Citation do you fly?
I've got my SIC type rating in the 500 series, the 525, and the 560 XL. Most of my flying is done in the Citation 2 and the 560 XL most recently.
Okay.
I'm looking for questions.
Questions?
I'm looking for them.
So what made you get into flying? Was it you said your dad was a pilot?
My dad was a pilot. He was a Navy pilot, and then he flew for FedEx for a number of years. I never actually flew him, though. But my uncle was a pilot. He did, it was a hobby, and he flew warbirds and loved doing, aerobatics. And he would take me flying when I was a young kid, and I always loved it. And he had, kind of put the bug in my ear a long time ago. I remember the first time I flew, I was probably, 8 or 9 years old. Him saying, you should do this, And, for the next 35 years or so, he kept telling me, you should do this, you should do this. And, it's like, I really do want to do it. And my dad just loved flying. And I thought, it just seems like a really cool thing. And I like a lot of adventure and I like challenges. I just have always been interested in it. So, yeah.
Cool.
Tony wants to know if you plan on flying or trying PPG. And Linda says tandems are fun, so you might want to try it the first time with a tandem.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. Yeah.
Yeah, go up and try it with the tandem pilot and try it that way.
It looks like it would be very, you just feel very free. It looks like it would be, with feet dangling. That sounds like just a really neat experience where you just kind of feel like a bird.
Yeah.
Jay is asking, did you go through flight safety for your rating?
No, I did not. Couple of the citations I did at a program, Florida Flight Center in Sarasota, and then the XL, the PIC actually did ground school with me and then flew with me in the airplane, and we did the maneuvers and the landings and takeoffs, and then he signed me off.
Okay. Looking for other questions. Yep. Travis, they spun the wheel already. You won, but you weren't here.
Oh.
So where do you plan to go with your organizations that you have started, Natalie? And I guess in the future with them?
Well, I want to keep, I mean, the scholarships were, you know, one of the original things that really I was motivated to continue like doing this was really about the scholarships. And I do love to do that, and I will continue to do that. I will continue to look for donors. I'll continue to sell my products. I don't know, they've sold really well in the past 7 years. I don't know if that will last. I have no idea. So I'm always looking for new ways to raise money, but that is a definite something that I want to continue to do. And plus I meet a ton of, you know, awesome female pilots through the scholarships, just reading about them, learning about them, and then having conversations with them. It's and you see them at like Oshkosh and stuff. That's one of my favorite things to do. As far as the flying, I don't really know where it's going to go. You know, right now I am enjoying what I'm doing. My youngest son, I went and picked him up from his college about a month ago, and he flew with me, and he expressed interest in learning to fly. And so, you know, when I got to see it fly, I really got it to teach family and friends. And so I'm hoping all of my boys will learn to fly, and that will be something that I would really enjoy doing, instructing with family and friends. I'm going to try to do that. I am moving here shortly to be closer to my family in Tennessee, like shortly as in 2 days now. And there's a lot of airports near me, so I'm hoping to reach out and meet some people there, do a lot of GA flying. I kind of got out of GA flying when I started flying in the jets and really missed it a lot. I'm looking forward to getting back into that and, you know, doing the $100 hamburger runs and going to visit friends and family. I miss doing that. So kind of wanting to get back into that a little bit more.
The first year we ever heard of the $100 hamburgers, we flew our paramotors to the $100 hamburgers.
Yeah.
And they all looked at us like, what are you two? Where did they come from? But it was at our local airport.
To do that. Yeah, it's people don't know how many airports there are out there and all the fun things you can go and see from, you know, the sky. It's like $100 hamburger. Like, yes, you can go fly somewhere and eat and then fly back.
I'm looking forward to that when my husband can fly on his own and be able to take me to Oshkosh for the day, or, you know, somewhere where we can just kind of have a weekend to take a day and just go fly wherever.
Yeah,
so
that'll be fun. I don't know if it's $100 hamburger anymore. It's probably more than that, but we still call it that.
All right, exactly.
So PPG equals $25 hamburgers.
Right. So, and Jay Land is in high wing or low?
I like both. Fly 172s, and then I've, you know, been a Piper Archer for 3 years or so. So I am now a part of a club that has a little bit of both. So Cessna 172s, and then they have a Piper Archer and a Dakota and a Saratoga. So whatever I can get my hands on us.
Nice. In Shane's Planet Shane, he says Tennessee is full of nice small public airports. So there you go.
Yeah.
So I'll have to introduce you to Michelle that I was talking to you, who flies international.
Yeah.
And maybe you can hook up with her sometime and
Yeah.
go flying, because they're constantly, when she's home, she's out sightseeing and she's in her Savage Cub and stuff. So she's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. So, guys, got any other questions at all? Otherwise, I'm sure she's got to get packing again.
I have one more. Do you meet very many female pilots while you're traveling?
Not much. No, really don't. Every once in a while, but it's pretty rare. Yeah.
Do you like going, I shouldn't say on the road. Do you like, how do you say that? Going on, not on the road,
Traveling.
literal. Do you like the travel?
Not really the road, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Right.
I don't like it as much as I thought I would. And
Really?
yeah, because I do like to go new places, but I found that sleeping in the hotels, I don't sleep that well in a hotel. And so and you usually have like maybe an early morning that you need to get to the airport. So it's kind of like you're tired because you don't sleep, and then you have to get up really early. You got to be on your A game. And I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. The actual traveling. I do enjoy the people that I'm typically flying with and the passengers, because I've gotten to know, some of them, you see a lot of the same people over and over again. And it's fun to go to some of these destinations that they go to. We talked about the Virgin Islands, and there's been some really cool spots, but I miss home when I'm gone. I like to be home. And maybe the older I've gotten, the more like set in my ways and where I want my bed, and I want.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you think it's more of a younger person before they get married, settle down? Do you think it's more?
I think it would be easier. Yeah. I mean, I feel, well, that's tough. And you do get acclimated to your surroundings in your own home, right? And then I don't really like eating out all the time. That's one of the things that, pilots that are flying, it's really hard to eat well because, and I pack a lot of stuff with me, but it's really hard to find places that, are not fast food, or you're just buying stuff out of a snack machine and you're going out to eat with your pilots. It's really hard you get out of a routine easily. And I guess I just really like my routine. A younger person probably would be easier because they're just younger and they haven't really, gotten set in their ways, maybe exactly like I have. I mean, I was a stay-at-home mom for 20 years, so I was pretty routine. Everything was very routine, and it's different when you're on the road. These are not routine at all.
Yep. Like Planet Shane says, traveling seems less and less attractive as his age increases. So
yeah, that's right.
Brian asked before that, any adventure flying, backcountry, floats?
I did get my seaplane rating shortly after my commercial rating. I went down to Florida and did that. So I thought, maybe when my kids grow up and leave, then maybe I could do some kind of, I'm from Florida. Like, I was born in Florida. My dad was a Navy pilot. I was born in Jacksonville, Florida. And we moved around a little bit when I was young. When I got about 8 or 9, we moved to Tennessee, and that's pretty much where I stayed. I went to college there at Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro, and then got married, and then there was some moving ahead of me at that point. But I really thought, maybe the float plane thing would be really fun because it's, maybe I'll be in Florida again at some point. They have so many like lakes there, and I did it, and I have not flown since I got that rating, unfortunately.
Craig B, he's an Australian. He's asking, I'm assuming for you, how come I can't get your podcast on Apple in Australia? Cheers.
I don't know.
So-
I didn't know that you couldn't.
Yeah.
Well, it's on hold, isn't it?
Well, it's still,
Wait,
I mean,
what?
we still have episodes out there. So, you can still listen to
Yeah.
old episodes.
Yeah. Because we've got some out there too. So,
Hmm. I know they have
All
in
right.
other countries, so I'm not really sure.
yeah, I don't know because we can listen to other countries too. So, I don't know. We'd have to look into that one, Craig.
Mhm.
So, all right. Deweese, do you got any other questions?
No, not right off the top of my head.
No? All right. Well, Natalie, I thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you for
And-
inviting me.
Yeah. Yeah, I look forward to meeting you this
At
next
Osh.
summer at Oshkosh. Yeah. So hopefully I'll be a little
Yeah,
bit
you
more
can show me
mobile than I
around.
was. Yeah, this next round than I was this year. I was in a wheelchair and I had metal bars sticking out of my foot.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It'll be better this year.
Yeah. We learned that black metal bars in the heat of Oshkosh or Wisconsin during the summer don't mesh. They cook the inside of my foot out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
So Natalie, just stick around for a second and
Okay.
hang on 1 second, everyone. I'm going to let you know who we've got quickly for next week's show. And we have Flyit Wyatt. He's going to do an update with us. He started out as I believe he was 8 years old as a paramotor pilot. And we're going to see what movies he's been in and what movies he's hopefully going to be in. And hopefully he can tell us. And he's going to tell us about his most recent trip overseas, paragliding. So make sure you come back next week for that one. So, but Natalie, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I really didn't realize that you were moving. You
That's
could have
okay.
kind
Yeah,
of
I've got
could
a
have
stack
changed
of,
it.
stack of pictures over here. You can see stacked against the wall.
Yeah. Yep. All right, guys.
Thank you very much.
Until
Nice to
then,
meet you.
keep flying safe, everyone, and I love you all. See you next week.
Good night.